to my channel. My name is Jacqueline Lopez. I have another Dollar Tree Halloween wreath. This one I am doing two different ways, and this is the one that I'm going to keep for my front door, so I am really excited to share this one with you. Now I have more DIYs coming up, so make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. If you haven't already, hit the notification bell so that you are notified every time that I post a new video. Like, comment, and share. That really helps my channel to grow, and let's just go ahead and get into it. The supplies we're going to be needing is a sign. I am using this wooden cutout one because my store still didn't have the very cute ones. We're going to be using a square wreath form this time. I'm using a total of 6 rows of ribbon, 2 of each design, some tinsel stems, black felt, and some orange paint. I am going to be painting the wooden cutout orange, but first I want to make a background out of this black felt. All I'm going to do is trace around it and cut it out. This is so that you don't see any of the wreath form, and it makes really good contrast. I don't know if you could tell by the supplies, but this is going to be a black and orange wreath. Cut your ribbon into 10-inch strips and then dovetail the ends. For this one, I'm going to do a little bit of a different pattern than on my previous wreaths. So I'm going to take the glittery orange, put that as my background, and then in an X pattern, I'm going to do the printed ribbon. I'm going to cinch it in the middle, and then I'm going to take my pipe cleaner that I went ahead and cut in half and just use that to make my bundle. Now, doing this kind of X pattern in the front, it makes it so that it looks more of like a little starburst bow instead of just a bundle when you stack them all together. Now make sure that you're paying attention to the pattern. I'm going to do half of them with the jack-o'-lanterns going in one direction diagonally, and then the other half with them going in the opposite direction. Now that our paint is dry, we are going to be adding the felt backing to it. I did cut it a little bit smaller to avoid any of the edges peeking through, and I'm going to work in small sections when gluing it to the back so that I can make sure that I don't have any folds or little bubbles in the areas that you can see through the front of it. Now don't overdo it with the stretching because it is very thin felt, so it will stretch out. I kind of messed up here a little bit in the beginning, and you're gonna see at the end where I have to trim some off of the bottom. All of these steps are, of course, optional. You can use just a sign that's already made at Dollar Tree. Again, my store was just taking a while to stock mine, so I went ahead and found a solution for something that I still loved. And of course, you can do the same with any of the other wooden cutouts. If you did the one that looks like the haunted house, you can use yellow as the background and it would look like lights peeking through. Now the fun part begins. We're going to start adding our bundles. Now, because we did this different like starburst pattern with our bundles, you can tell that it's already covering a lot more of the wreath form. Just make sure that you add enough space so that you can attach your sign later. So here it is with all of my bundles attached. I actually still have a couple that I didn't attach, and everything looks really nice and full. Go ahead and fluff it out. I'm going to be adding the rest once I add my sign. So I'm going to use the same technique that I've used before, which is just gluing on some of the pipe cleaners to the back and adding more of the felt so that I give it a little bit of stability. Now on this one, I'm only going to add it to the top, not to the bottom. Usually do it to 2 places. This is just temporary because at this point I had already found a sign that I wanted to use. Now we just have to attach it to our wreath form. Again, ideally you would do it from 2 places, and I'm going to nestle it really good in between my little ribbon bundles so that it looks like if it was all coming out around it.
Maybe, just maybe, we can rest in clouds and suns. Maybe, just maybe.
Now that it's attached, just go ahead and fluff the ribbon that's around it, add any more bundles if you have any, and here is the completed piece. I really love it. I love that you can tell that this is a square wreath form instead of the traditional round. This is where this DIY was going to end, but again, I found another sign that I want to use. So this is the sign that I fell in love with. This is the one that I was looking for. Since I'm going to be making that change, I decided to add some additional embellishments. So I went ahead and took out the other sign, and we're going to attach it pretty much the same, except for this one. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to push it more in towards the center, and I'm going to trace before I add my pipe cleaners, just so that I know exactly where I want it, so that it has really good stability. With the other one, it was different because a lot of it was just negative space with the felt. While I do this part, I wanted to add that this is something you can do for the coming year. So every year, just change out the sign that you use, because that's usually what does not so well in the weather, because these Dollar Tree signs are very thin, which makes them actually very convenient. They're easy to use, they don't weigh a lot, so it's easy to just change this part out. So if you want to maybe splurge on the ribbon, buying it somewhere else, but a Dollar Tree ribbon actually does stand the weather really well. Another thing you can do is add some spray to it. I'm going to insert a picture of it right here. So if you add this spray to your wreath, it's a UV resistant clear spray. It'll protect it from the sun. I can't do much for water or anything like that when it comes to the actual sign, but again, for $1 you can just switch it out every year. The ribbon will last with that spray though.
It's not a test. Sweet dreams. Deep sleep, big heat, cover me. Re-energize me. When I fantasize, deep sleep, big heat, cover me. Turn out the light.
Now that the sign is securely in place, all I'm going to do is fluff some of the ribbon around it. And again, once you have your sign, you can definitely add more, because you get to see kind of where you have any empty spaces. So again, I had a total of 4 leftover bundles with just using 6 rolls of ribbon for this square wreath form.
Re-energize me. When I fantasize, deep sleep, big heat, cover me. Turn out the light.
Now I'm going to do a little bit more, so I'm going to attach some of these orange little Christmas tree ornaments. I'm taking off the little hanging piece, and that's the area where I'm going to add some hot glue, and I'm going to add it to the center of some of my bundles. I'm just going to sporadically put them all over the wreath.
I wanna explore the unknown. Tell me, maybe. I say come.
Here it is completed in its final form for this year. I fell in love with this design. I loved it so much that this is the one that I'm definitely going to be keeping for my front door. The color and everything matches other things that I have in my front porch for fall, so it'll be just easy to switch it out. I'm hoping to share how I switch it up next year as well, so make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. If you haven't already, hit the notification bell so you are notified every time that I post a new video. Like, comment, and share. That really helps my channel to grow. And thank you so much for taking time to watch this video. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it for you. You have a very good rest of your day. Bye bye.